Now, Joe Rogan has been going off. In his latest podcast, he not only has one viral moment, but two viral moments in the same episode. A 3-hour long podcast. We're going to take a few minutes, show you a few videos. Let's find out how Joe Rogan feels about Canada and Justin Trudeau.
Canada's communist.
Canada's crazy.
They're they got to get rid of that guy.
How much time does he have? I feel like he's been prime minister for a while. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know how their system works up there. I have zero understanding of their system.
Yeah.
I never looked into it at all. I just liked him. I liked him before the pandemic.
Trudeau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Seems sweet.
Yeah.
You know, it's like good looking guy, confident, good talker.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic, I'm like, oh, you're a dictator.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like criticism. You're trying to shut down criticism by saying that all your critics are misogynists and racists.
Yeah.
You hear he said that about the trucking people, the truckers?
He called them.
Called them all misogynists and racists.
Oof.
Yeah, he's gross. He's a sketchy guy.
Yeah.
And he's got some shaky deals. I would like to see like where the money is coming from. Like why do you want everybody to get injected every 4 months? They don't need that anymore. Like what are we doing? What are you doing? You can't even get into Canada unless you're vaccinated.
Can't get in?
No. Make sure that's true. Because someone just told me, Whitney just told me, she had to show her vaccination card to get into Canada.
That seems.
It's a little.
Like it adds up further.
It's old.
Yeah.
Like it's 2022. It's not 2019.
Okay. So clearly he has some strong opinions about what's going on over here. Although one thing that he did strongly admit is that he has no idea how the system over here works. So wonder how you can criticize somewhere and not know how it works. Now, is he wrong with everything he's saying? No, I don't think so. Justin Trudeau definitely 100% did say that the people in the trucking convoy, a lot of them were racist and misogynist, and that was the message being pushed. You know, so there's definitely that. Did he at some point try to turn this into a communist country where, you know, the government held the power and you know, we didn't really have a lot of control over what was being said or what we could or couldn't do or what we shouldn't do for a little bit? I mean, yikes. The Emergencies Act, guys? Does that ring a bell? Yeah. So there's a few things that he's saying that I get. I understand where he's coming from. But he has to understand, Mr. Rogan, with all due respect, you're an outsider looking in, okay? Now, I'm not defending Justin Trudeau in any way. No way, shape, or form. Not a chance. No. Because I don't agree with a lot of things that Justin Trudeau has done. But with that being said, we here now. We here now. What I mean by we is Canada. We here now. I have no problem if they want to go check people from foreign countries coming in to our country and making sure that they are COVID free. Why would I have a problem with that as a Canadian? Really? Somebody who lives, yes, you outside coming into the country are going to have a problem with that. Yes, because you're involved. But me who lives here and went through the lockdowns, went through the shutdowns of the gyms and the malls and the groceries and all these other things that were happening all across Canada at some point. I was there. I went through it. So no, I don't want to go back to that. You know, when it comes to the Freedom Convoy, do I agree with everything Justin Trudeau did? No, I don't. Was the convoy still effective? Yes, it was. Because it wasn't soon after this Freedom Convoy that he got rid of all of these things, that a lot of these things started disappearing, at least where I'm from in Tirana. So I have to say that they did have some kind of good effect on the people, you know. But Joe Rogan didn't stop there. Joe Rogan didn't just hit Canada. He didn't just come for us. Oh, Justin Bieber's so mad at you.
One thing that is incredible about that guy is that, you know, I'm saying even when you watch him as president, he was full of fucking energy.
Full of it.
Every day. And they say he slept for like 4 hours a night. He's one of those people.
He's on Adderall.
God.
Do you think he's on Adderall?
Yes, I do. Only because there were multiple people who used to work on The Apprentice that were like, he was fucking gassed up for shoots.
Really?
Yeah, because he has trouble reading. He doesn't. He would struggle to read prompter or script when he was just let's say sober. So they would give him that, and he would dial in more on reading because he gets very bored. They said, he would get bored at the CIA briefing in the mornings. He was like, I don't want to read that. There's a daily briefing you get as president. He's like, you fucking read it and then tell me. And if it's bored, so they would have to make it more engaging for him because he would just
I heard
tap
that they
out.
would put his name in briefings multiple times to keep him interested.
And then Kushner, his son-in-law,
Yeah.
said that he came up with a formula to keep him engaged.
Kushner did?
Yes, because he obviously was close to him and knew him well, and the formula was like 2 good, 1 bad. So if they were going to give him bad news, he'd go, you start with some good news. So they go, this is going well. Everybody's thrilled with you about this. Here's a bad thing. Also, people love you for this. So that's how they would tell him bad news. They couldn't just go, here's a bunch of bad news.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a man baby.
He's a fucking toddler. Yeah. Yeah, he's a toddler. It's exactly how I talk to my kids about shit.
Now we're on to something, Mr. Rogan. Now we are on to something because Mr. Trump agreed, man, baby. And I think this was the most evident by what happened. And I hate to bring this up because it was such a tragic moment for Americans, but the Capitol riots, I have to bring that up. For a man to get so angry, so in his feelings, so sad that he says, this thing was fixed and we need to do something about it. And they're cheating and da-da-da-da-da. Bro, you lost. Let's not forget, and I still don't understand this. People explain it to me all the time. I'm still confused. Hillary Clinton had more overall votes. But somehow Donald Trump still won. He didn't have a problem with that. That he didn't have a problem with because he won. As soon as he loses, though, then he has an issue. Listen, I don't care if you're a Trump fan or if you're a Trump hater. I don't. Well, I do care if you're a Trump fan. I do. Unsubscribe right now. But regardless of which side you're on, you have to agree that there are numerous times, not just in the past, but also going on right now, currently in the present, where Donald Trump has displayed very emotional and irrational behaviors. Now, do I have to bring up certain things, specific things that Mr. Trump has done that I think are a little questionable? Now, we're not going to go through the whole list, but here's just one website, the 10 worst things Donald Trump has done in his political career, okay? And this is in 2020, okay? Let's take it back. Take it back. First, child separation policy, okay? Withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement, okay? His attacks on Affordable Health Care Act, right? Anything that Obama touched, this guy wanted to get rid of. One of the things was Obamacare. Absolutely try, attempt, go, get rid of Obamacare. Okay? And there's no other way to say it, racism. Okay? Listen, let's read the first part of this one. Trump's first time in the political spotlight can be traced back to the newspaper ads he bought back in 1989, calling for 5 Black and Latino teenagers to be put to death for a crime they've since been exonerated for. He's never apologized. Let me say that again. He led the charge to put 5 teenagers to death. And when they were cleared both by DNA evidence and a confession by the actual perpetrator, he's doubled down that he still thinks they're guilty. Later, he launched his presidential campaign talking about Mexican rapists coming across our borders, so maybe it shouldn't be a surprise that he goes out of his way to talk about alt-right, pro-Confederacy protesters as good people. I'm not going to read anymore. Enlisting foreign officials to help his candidacy. I mean, Putin. His use of the treasury to line his own pockets. I mean, we've all heard about how much it costs just for security for Donald Trump on a daily basis. His handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, pretty much where he denied it for the first time and for the first however many months, and denied all the things that the scientists were saying and had a lot of Americans get sick because of the things that he was saying. Also, his attacks and saying that it was a Chinese virus. Oh my goodness. His hugely regressive changes to the tax code. And I mean, the rich get richer, right? His other inhumane immigration policies. We all know what he did with the borders, right? Only certain countries were to get banned at certain points, right? And the certain countries that he wanted to ban all had a lot of things in common. I don't have to say it. We all know it. We remember it. And last, they just have his lies. I like that. But listen, you can look at these things, and you don't have to be a genius to say there have been times where the things he is doing, the actions that he is doing, seem like they're more emotional than logical, right? Like, why get rid of affordable health care other than the fact that it was something that Obama put in there and you just don't like him as a person? Like, you have to explain these things to me. If somebody can explain some of these things, you saw the list, just rewind and go back. And if you can explain away some of these things that I went on this list, please feel free to do it. I'm here for you, man. Do your thing. But Donald Trump is the biggest man baby there is. I have no problem with what Joe Rogan said. It was very accurate. As far as the other stuff with the Adderall and him being hawked up, that's his business. Okay? If you ever been to college or university, Adderall to you is like M&Ms. I'm sorry, parents, if you didn't know that. You know, sometimes we've got to stay awake for these tests, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying, there's that kid who everybody knows got the pills. We're going to get them. Like, this is something that happens currently. So if he's on Adderall, okay, I don't have no problem with that. Do your thing, Don. Anyway, man, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about Joe Rogan and his comments, first of all, about Canada, and then, of course, about Donald Trump. Is he crazy? Is he off base? Is Joe Rogan hitting the hot spots once again? Leave it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe as well. This is Two Guys Doing the podcast, and we out, man. Deuces.